How's it going, everybody? This is an attempt to basically just preserve my integrity in the future. I'm sure there's a possibility that somebody's going to doubt my contribution and how much work I put into this system and claim that it's already been something that people have been doing already or whatever. And I'm going to prove to you that that's not true. I've been doing this for about a year and a half on Maui. And I consistently, for a very long time now, get guests and very enthusiastic about it, and from there, and people come to Maui from everywhere, and no one ever saw this before. So I prepared a bunch of search terms, and I'm going to put them into Google and do a thorough Google search. It's gonna be kind of a boring video, guys. I don't know if anyone's gonna be watching this in the future, but I'm going to use this as evidence in case someone tries to call me out and be like, you didn't make that up. I'm like, well, check this out. And if you said you've been doing it before me, I also have another evidence of innovation video on my Instagram from 6 months ago where I interviewed a bunch of people at a restaurant that I play at called Halimo Olelo. And it only gives me about 15 minutes on Instagram. I actually had a longer video than that, but it cut off. But no one saw it before. I interviewed all the people, all the guests. They all thought it was cool. It was a good testimonial, too, just to show that guests like the idea. So here we go. Not the most interesting video, but I'm just going to... First off, I'm going to timestamp this. I'm on Google right now. What day? Or what is the date, I should say. All right, there you go. Thursday, December 19th, 2024. All right, that's when I'm doing this. And then I'm going to go on to I mailed the terms to myself. And so I'm just going to highlight them, put it in there, do a little bit of searching between it, or searching through them, and show you that you won't be able to find this anywhere. And I'm pretty confident you're going to probably find this everywhere pretty soon. I'm pretty stoked about that because musicians deserve more money than they get. Okay. So here we go. Music teachers. Sign up. Google Sheet for song request tool. Let's click on that. See what it says. 200 songs regularly performed. Long list. Composer. I shared this list. Make it so when a person opens the sheet online, it's similar. It's not what I do. Google Forms. I'm not saying the first person to figure out to do Google Forms for this. I'm talking about this whole thing. Just putting the freaking Venmo QR code and the PayPal or any pay app QR code on tiny signs on every table. That's something I've never seen. Just that by itself. But you want to sell it. You don't want to just be like, hey, this is only about me. Because that's why that request thing really comes in handy, just because it's some give and take. You give the audience the chance to, suggest any song that's on your set list and send it anonymously. And then if you play it and they like it, you give them the option of paying you afterwards, like a play it forward thing. Musicians request thing. Oh, before I do that, let's make a point to, I know this is going to be kind of a longer and more boring video, but let's go to images too on each one of these because, I want, the key is, are you going to see a bunch of tables or whatever with signs on them? I've already done this kind of a lot less organized and just try to think of every freaking combination of words to do to be able to find this, and I can't find this anywhere. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to just record this in a little more organized of a fashion than I was doing before with these prepared terms. And yeah, let's do this one now. Okay. Having a banner. I did the banner years ago, and I felt like I was the first. I did the same thing as I'm doing now for the banner thing, but no one's going to believe me about that, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But this one, I really want to be thorough about it because, I mean, it's a good idea that's going to help everybody. And there's my video right there. So, images? Nothing. I mean, there's these things, but these are what you would put on your stage. You know what I mean? You're not putting one of these on every freaking table in the house. Nope. That's not what it is. Okay, moving on. And I apologize in advance for how repetitive I'm going to be in this video for anybody who actually might watch this in the future. But I just really want to dot my I's and cross my T's on this. Okay. Nothing. This is how to make a digital tip jar. We know how to do that. New request app. There's already apps that do this. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the first person to do, you know, a request thing or even the tip thing, but those things cost you money every month, and they're not even as good as this. I have the QR codes on the signs themselves. It's not just you using their SMS thing and going through it and paying a monthly subscription fee, and then you have to go a link to it, and then they have to sign in. You're causing all this friction. This is slick. This is no sign in. They're just going to scan it on their app and it's done. And it's on every table. It's nuts. And it's been so helpful for me, and it's going to be so helpful for anybody else in the future. I promise. I know it. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Oh, yeah. I already did that one. Okay. So going back to this. Restaurant musician system using table signs and Google Forms. Okie dokie. Okay. Still nothing. Going here. Same kind of thing, really. Thank you, DJ. It's just an app. You know. Okay. Try to move this along a little bit faster, but I want to be thorough, you know. I want to be thorough on this. Request now. Yep. There's my video. Nothing. I mean, just show me a freaking image of what I've been doing with like every tape we'll have in one of these signs. You're not going to find it. And you will find it in the future. Everywhere. I swear. I really believe that. I think everyone should be doing this. Everyone will make more money from this. I mean, I did it for myself. I needed to make more money. And I wasn't really thinking that it was going to be something that I was going to figure out for everybody else. But then it dawned on me. I'm like, hey, I mean, anyone could do this. Anyone could do this system and make money. Right. Oh. So yeah, I already did that. Okay. I mean, it's a virtual tip jar. I like to call it. I call it a digital tip jar. I didn't like the word virtual. I'm sure I'm not the first person who said digital tip jar, though. I don't think. But I mean, it just sounded. I always heard people say virtual tip jar. And I was like, that doesn't. It's not virtually tipping you, though. You know what I mean? They're definitely giving you money. So I just called it a digital tip jar. I mean, nothing. Nothing. I'm sure if anyone's watching this, like, dude, we get the point. But I'm going through all of these, man. I'm going through every one of these things to just totally be thorough. Okay. And you have pictures of signs, but not what I'm doing. Not what everybody's going to be doing in the future. Okay, all. these look like anything. Dot card, table signs for musician tips and anonymous song requests. These are just the Etsy's signage for no song request. Dot card, missing that. Go back to images. Nada. Okay. Try to speed this up a little bit, but I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Maybe videos too. I want to see if there's anything that says what I'm doing. Maybe I'm just going a little too over the top with this video so far. I'm not even so sure how freaking long a video could be on YouTube. I'm just going to upload this video on YouTube just to timestamp it even further. Okay. In case anyone was wondering what's with all these quotation marks, I was working with AI to make this comprehensive list to just expedite the process, and had him write a whole list out, going back and forth what the best terms would be. And I was pretty happy with this list so far. It seemed to be more relevant than everything it was spewing out to me. Okay, nothing. Virtual tip jar with QR code. Let's see what they... Oh, that's just talking about the tip jar. I remember everyone does that, you know. You should. If you're not doing that, I don't know. Like, I guess you're an older person possibly, which is cool, I get it. But you're really leaving a lot of money on the table. But not nearly as much as everybody's been when they literally didn't have a freaking tip jar on every table. I mean, isn't that funny that quote is leaving money on the table, and like all of us musicians for this long have been leaving money on the table? And the crazy thing is that this idea that I've never seen anybody do, and I put together with all these things that, you know, I had to just try to figure out, and I knew there was a way, and I was like, how do I get this and that, blah, blah, blah. This idea, according to what my research was, could have been done 13 years ago. Like, literally, 13 years ago, we had the ability to do exactly what I'm doing right now. Way before a pandemic, all that stuff. We could have done this during the pandemic, and, you know, that would have made more sense. You know what I mean? Okay. Copy this. I know. Boring. I know. Going back. Okie dokie. Images first. Nothing. Now go to all. Same things. I mean, if this was the, you know, this would be on the front, the first page. I mean, this is such a significant idea for musicians, entertainers. And I think there's even more potential with this idea than I've actually could see in my mind right now what it could be. I do think that live musicians, even like original musicians, and skipping the whole request part of it, should just put their QR digital tip jars everywhere, and then do a pay what you feel show. And then instead of worrying about what the house pays you, I mean, they should pay you. Don't let this supplant your base pay. But instead of it being like, it's not even worth playing. Dude, if you have fans and you have like a goal of how much you're willing to make, like you can even have a screen up showing your Venmo account or something like that. You could just be like, hey, we're almost at our goal of what we think, it should be for our what. Your fans will probably pay you even more than that. I guarantee you that's going to be a big thing in the future too for live music. It doesn't even have to have the request thing. I mean, the fact that no one's doing these tip jars on every table, that's amazing to me. And they will. They really will. And restaurants should not have a problem with it. Screw that. I mean, there's one thing you should unite about at first. It's just like, nah, sorry, guys. If you want us to play here, this is too much money that you're just depriving us for some reason because you don't want your precious table not to have this 3-inch by 3-inch table tent sign on your precious little table that's about the same size as a drink. Give me a break. Anyway, I'm rambling. Digital thing. Copy. I mean, you get the point, but I'm not stopping. I'm just going to keep doing this. Just going to keep doing this. QR code powered song request for DJs. Let's do that. Have I already looked at this already? I mean, this is basically what it is, but not what I'm doing. Like, this is some sort of paid thing. Sign up, it says sign up. I'm not having you sign up anything. All you gotta sign up to is freaking .card or Linktree and a Google Forms app, and then you got your service for free. Booyah. Oh, and all those services are free. Free jukebox style request system for live musicians with tipping. QR code powered song request for same thing. Juke app. Sorry, guys. Some people are going to be really mad at me for this, but it's for the greater good. This is for the betterment of musicians doing better. I don't think we should have something for free. It's awesome. And, that's impeding the progress of this idea to have it be something that you charge for. And, this is a better idea too. I mean, the QR codes, like I already mentioned, are on the signs themselves. That is the huge point of difference on this. You're not just going some SMS, exchanging any sort of information. It's no friction at all. This is the slickest system you'll find. Anyway. Table signs. Oops, I missed the T on that one. Okay. Images. Nope. Nothing. It's kind of just put for the non-images. It's just really putting up a lot of the same things. Request system. Jukebox. DJ. Jukebox app. Yep. Okay. Tip jar in your link tree. That's not the same thing, though. I mean, you could put a tip jar in your link tree and just have it on your social media. And it's not talking about table signs. Missing table. Going back to images again. Nothing. Nada. Okay. I'm just curious, like, because I want to put this on YouTube, so I want to see how long. Oh, well, I'm not a verified account. I don't. I mean, what does verified mean? Like you're famous or something like that? Well, if it's 15 minutes long each, if I'm just if no names can only do 15 minutes long or whatever, then I'll just take this thing and split it up into sections and just not leave any pausing or between it. You know what I mean? And just make it a series of videos. So that's not really that big of a deal anyway. But going forward. You can Google form to create a song request list. Songs be displayed. The customer could select up to 40. 2 months ago, though. And I don't think this is even the same thing. But I've been doing this thing for over a year and a half. And I even proved it with my evidence of innovation video on my Instagram that was 6 months ago. 150 songs. And people come to Maui from all over the world. And a lot of people were like, whoa, and it spreads. But it's not obvious on how it was done. Create a forum, and I have listed on Google Sheets. Song to be displayed. Customer can select 40 songs. Send the list through via email. It's not as good as mine. Mine's effortless. Mine's from a Google form. You just type it in, hit submit. It's just slick. That's all I could say. It's just a really slick way. So this isn't the same thing. Go back. Did I already do images on this one? Yeah, no, this is a bunch of nonsense. Okay. Okie. Alright, you got table signs, but these aren't on every freaking table in the house, you know what I mean? Stage signs. Yep. We all do that. Jukebox app, talking about apps again. Yeah, this video, I know, it's freaking boring video. Copy that. Tip jar, sign musician. No. Tip buckets. Clever sayings, tip jars. And I like that it's anonymous, I like giving the opportunity for the guest to stiff me if they want. I like that. Because, it's a free request. I'm going to play these songs anyway, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still just pretty much doing everything I was doing before, but now I have now the audience just decides my set list, what order my set list is going to be, and now that takes away all the freaking guesswork. People aren't interrupting me anymore, asking for songs I don't even know. People are like, if there's, the other day I had a birthday, and they just sent, I have a birthday. That was that easy. They were all way over, far away from me, and I was like, I forget her name was, like, Allison's still there? And like, yeah, and they're all in the distance, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, can we say happy birthday? And then they tip me. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. And, so, anyway. Go on through here. Let me type in something that just, tipping sign on every table or something like that. No, that's not it. Our Venmo QR on, I'm a slow typer, every table. Nothing. Let's do musician. Nothing. Let's do here. QR codes on cards for tips. 8 months ago. Been doing this for a year and a half. Not saying that, necessarily. And that's kind of obvious to put them on cards. I mean, I've been doing that. I did the business card thing. I have some that I don't really put them out because it was causing an issue with like littering and stuff like that. But still not the same thing. Still not this whole shebang of the sign and all that. And the requesting is the seller. The requesting is what really gives some give and take between us and the guests, So that's not the same thing. So let me go back to the list. Copy. Paste. Not seeing anything here. Images. And this microphone's not the best that I'm using I'm just connecting it directly into the computer, so it's not like I'm using a really good setup, but hopefully it's good enough for me to be heard. Nothing. Okay. This might be a good one for just a regular all rather than just the images. I'll do both, but see if there's anyone doing a tutorial. Even go into page 2 and see if there's anything, because all these are ads, like Google is so freaking, everything's a freaking ad. Let's see what this says. This is like 20 minutes long though. Trying to just kind of go through here. Yeah, I mean that's not the same. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's what you want, to have some sort of way to do a QR code to request your song. It looks like an app thing though. And that's not the same thing. It's not on every table. Oh, look, mysetmusic.com. So they're selling you something. You know what I mean? So that's not the same thing. Closing out on that. Oh, crap. Did I close that on the freaking list? I think I did. So I'm going to go open up a Gmail. Go back to my search terms. Okay. And I think that was all 20 of those ones. Okay, so now, let's see. I did that. This is GPT. Me going back and forth on what the best terms would be for this specific, video that I'm making right now. Is it still playing? Good. Just double check. That would suck if I was doing this whole thing and it wasn't even on. Okay, unique table signs for tipping and free song requests. That sounds pretty to the point. Let's do that one. Paste that bugger on. Okay, need tip jar ideas. Tip jars. Signage for no restaurant request. Images. Okay. No. Should I do all these? I mean, is this ridiculous? Is this ridiculous? Okay. What happened? Okay, search for that. QR code powered song request for DJs. It's the same thing. Let's do the images. More of that. More of the same thing. Okay. Let's say Nashville restaurants. And I could just, so there you go. I mean, like, here's a band, and there's no table signs. No table signs. I don't know if there's a band playing there, though. Let's see. Live music. Ugh, so terrible. Typing. I mean, I use all my fingers and everything. I'm just slow. I'm not just like pecking with my index fingers or anything. Yeah, that'd be kind of a cool one. And you can make those signs like aesthetically pleasing for the restaurant. I mean, that might be a requisite in the future when they start doing these everywhere to like at least make them look somewhat good and not tacky looking. And inside you could almost just do business cards, but the only problem is that when there's a turn on the table, you can't redistribute out business cards, so they have to keep them on the table, at least one. I was doing coasters, but I found that I don't know like if that's really the best choice. I thought they were kind of cool, but then people just of course set their drinks on them, and it would cause like a barrier between their phone and the actual QR code itself with the glass that, and then they get kind of deteriorated and they get taken as a souvenir more. Like, I haven't had much problem with anyone stealing my science too. Like, thankfully, I for some reason thought, man, these things are kind of expensive, especially the metal ones, and it takes a while to build them. And if people just start walking off with these things, it's gonna really suck. But in my experience, people have been pretty cool in not doing that, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Here you go, is another one. And then, there's not like some thing on there that's gonna be conspicuously doing that at all. It doesn't seem like it is. I mean, it's not. It's just not. And it will be. I really think that Nashville, like, what should I say, like LA? LA restaurants, live music. I mean, you ain't seeing no table signs on any of these tables. I mean, some of these tables are kind of fancier, but I'm just saying, they don't see them. And I really believe you will. When everyone sees how effective this idea has been, it's going to be so helpful for musicians. Say New York. How about New York? Nothing. I'd love to freaking play in these places one day, or at least, just kind of branch out. It looks so fun to be in these environments. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, guys. I don't know if anyone's going to actually be watching this thing in the future, at least this whole freaking video or whatever. But, I mean, I just really want to be as thorough as possible. I'm a little over the top sometimes. Yeah, that's not really a good example because no one's playing music in that picture. Well, anyway, I'm going to try to go back onto this list. Just keep going. And my plan, I think I already might have mentioned this, but I'm going to compile a list of all venues that I could find that are relevant for this idea and strategically direct message all of them and encourage them to view my introductory video to this idea. It's only 40 seconds long. And if they think it's something that would be beneficial to their musicians, ask them to forward that to all their musicians. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that already, but I do think that's my next course of action. And I got to figure out what that list is going to be. I'm sure I'll have to ask GPT about all the different venues and stuff like that to be able to find them, get the DMs from that. And you can't send too many in one day or else they'll call you like you're spamming it. So I got to kind of pace it out well. But that could be a lot of reach. And any musician that follows me from this whole campaign thing or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to follow them back. So that might be a cool way to get more connections in the music business and stuff. And just more relationships with the musicians out there in the world. That'd be cool. Copy that. Let's just do this to your tip jar. That's what he's talking about. So nothing in there. I'm going to go to the all. QR code power. We've already seen these. Virtual tip jar. My video. Do this to your tip jar. Yeah. Trust me, I'm bored too, guys. But I'm going to be happy in the future that I did this really thorough Google search just for people in the future saying this has always been around forever or whatever. And I didn't make it up to be able to like, well, watch this video then. Okay. Nothing. Double check it's still recording. Still recording. Good. I really hope there wasn't some freaking hiccup where like the audio doesn't work and stuff like that. But I tested the audio before this, so that shouldn't be a problem. Did I already do images? Okay, nothing. Moving forward. I missed the T on this thing. Copy. Okay. QR code scan to pay virtual tip jar. Follow song list. Let's see what this is. Yeah, it's not the same thing. Song request for DJs. I'm like getting tired from this. Like, Okay, moving on. list now. Huh. Wonder why this video popped up. That's like a not really related to. I mean, that's me. That's strange. Images. Wonder how long this video is by now. It's freaking long. Probably longer than it needed to be. I'm sorry, probably. Yeah. Same old, same old. All these things seem to be kind of popping up the same type of results, regardless of the thing that I'm doing. How many more of these do I have? I mean, this is kind of... Maybe I should just choose the better ones, because this is like getting really longer. This is longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so restaurant musician, interactive table signs, jukebox request system, Google Forms song request system displayed on restaurant tables. I like that. That seems pretty legit. Copy. Yeah, we've already saw that one. That's not the same thing. Images, videos, nothing. And I promise you, if this, I really feel when this video takes off, or when this idea takes off, you are going to be able to type in these words that I've, been putting in here, and you're going to see a lot more things pop up that's relevant to what I'm talking about in the future, So that gives even further evidence in the future that whoever decides to say, like, yeah, you didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. Hey, look at this long, ridiculously boring video of me showing you every freaking which way of me typing in Google of finding anything about anyone in the world doing this idea. But anyway. Tabletop signs for musician tipping systems using Linktree. Should I keep going? I don't know. It seems is this really redundant? I always seem to be pretty much just saying the same thing. I mean, I had these printed off with GPT, as I mentioned a bunch of times already. So maybe it's just not unnecessary to... I'm kind of hitting the wall on this freaking video, honestly. Okay. Tip jar on every table. Can't spell table for a second there. How about digital tip jar? Digital tip jar on every table. Nope. How about musician? Put that on there. It'd be so much faster if I was like good at freaking typing. I should practice typing. Just like do some course and just like try to speed type or something, That was like one of the most valuable classes that I got from actual high school. Out of everything I did in that whole thing was just learning how to type properly. That and I was in a drumming class for a year, and I was mostly just doing like runs with the dowel sticks on a freaking piece of rubber that was glued to a wooden tile for a drum pad. It was really cheap. We didn't give it drumsticks or drum pads, but it was fun to be in that class doing all those runs. So those two things out of my entire high school career seems to be the things that really lasted. for me, strangely. But I think I made myself pretty freaking clear, but I just feel like compelled to continue. I'm so close. I'm just going to talk less and just try to run through these. That'll probably speed up the process, you know. This is from GPT. Wow. I wonder if it got into the whole AI thing. Because it just pretty much said what I'm doing. Services like tip jar. Well, that's paid, though. You know. So that's still not the same. Alright. Yeah, it's still a platform. And this wasn't a person that said this, you know what I mean? Like, this is just AI knowing that this would be a good idea. Musician digital tip jar. Um, yeah, I mean, you could do that on the tables and stuff, but it's missing the word request. That's the seller. That's what makes this cool. I mean, if you just put your Venmo on every table in the house and play a show, you're not going to get nearly as much money as doing it my way. No siree. Okay. Copy. All these companies are going to be mad at me. But it's for the greater good. Oh yeah, these are ones that I actually just specifically do for Google Images. Okay, so that'll at least eliminate one part of it. We'll do that. I'm so close. really just like tired of this. Yeah, this is boring. Okay. Let's not rush too much with this wheel on my mouse so you could actually see these things. No, it's not the same thing. It's like a menu thing or something. QR codes are definitely here to stay. QR codes is going to save the music industry. It's going to be nuts. It's really the... After I help musicians this way, my next thing is I'm going to show how QR codes are going to make people actually buy music again. It's going to be nuts. It's really going to be exciting. Because musicians, you guys deserve it. Oh, man. Hitting the wall. Or I hit the wall. You could probably tell I'm moving like slower right now. I went to the gym earlier today too. I worked up super early in the morning. I've been doing good about that. I've been going like every freaking day. And they actually have a list at Anytime Fitness. And I'm on like pretty high up on the list of how many people, that go frequently. So I'm glad that I've been finally getting in the mode of doing that. I realized as like a mental trick that my goal is not to get in shape. That was always my goal. I realized if I just thought of it differently, my goal is to be a guy who could honestly say he works out on a regular basis and he goes to the gym a lot. And that only took me about 3 weeks to achieve that goal, going every day. And then maintain that identity or whatever, maintain that about yourself. And then getting in shape is just incidental. I wish I would have thought of that like that long ass time ago. That's really all it took, was just thinking of it differently. I'm all rambling on about unrelated stuff right now. But that's one reason why I'm tired. So I guess it is kind of related. Paste. Tip jars. I'm almost there, guys. I just told myself I'd do all these, and I'm just gonna do it. Alrighty. Nothing. Nothing yet. But soon, hopefully soon, everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. Me and other things. I uploaded that video 3 weeks ago. I got a lot of views. That's another thing, is I did an ad campaign on Instagram. I paid a little bit on TikTok to get a little more reach. I got a lot of positive comments. I got a lot of likes, a lot of saves, and I got nobody saying that, oh, I've been doing that. You know what I mean? So explain that too. Anybody in the future who tries to like say I'm bullcrap and everything. Oh yeah, go back to images. Nothing. Oh my gosh, I'm almost there. Oh, I am in there. I'm done. Sam, I already did that. All right. Freaking A. I don't know how long that freaking video was. That was a long ass video. Boring ass video. And just to do this again, today's date is Thursday, December 19th, 2024. Makawa, Hawaii. Finally freaking done with that video. That freaking audio better be on there. I'm gonna be so pissed. But anyway, good luck everyone. I really think this is gonna help us. I really do. And it's gonna be awesome and exciting. And yeah, stay tuned for the explanation of how this QR codes are gonna save the music industry. And it's not this table sign thing. All right. Over and out.